The multi-hyphenated Jamie Foxx is always giving it his all, whether it be in music or acting, and his various awards are a testament to that. But let's take a look at the actor's performances through the years and cherry-pick the cream of the crop from good to bad. So for today's video, we'll be listing down Jamie Foxx's characters ranked from heroic to most villainous, so make sure you keep watching today's video to know more. So without further ado, here are the most memorable characters played by Jamie Foxx in order of most heroic to most villainous. Starting today's list, we have Django in Django Unchained. It's hardly shocking to learn that Jamie Foxx's most heroic performance was in this well-known part. In this western directed by Quentin Tarantino, Django, a liberated slave, teams up with a German bounty hunter to save his wife from a ruthless plantation owner. Yes, this film is quite brutal, but it also has a lot of great Tarantino elements. Though you could counter that using force does not imply heroism, it is difficult to deny that Django is a blatantly heroic badass. In fact, we believe that this is among our all-time favorite performances by this performer. It really is that good. Next on the list, we have Nick Rice in Law Abiding Citizen. One of Jamie Foxx's most well-known roles is probably this one. He portrays Nick Rice and co-stars with Gerard Butler. In the film, Nick is a DA officer, and he must work tirelessly to discover a means to condemn the guilty when he only has circumstantial evidence of a family's horrible murder. Nick Rice has to contend with altered evidence, an unsolved murder, and a bereaved family. He really goes to tremendous efforts to obtain the justice he believes is due, even though this job is a little dirtier. Moreover, this film is unquestionably a classic. Then on to the next one. We have Yahya, John in Robin Hood. Although the reviews for this film weren't the finest, we couldn't resist seeing a Robin Hood movie starring Jamie Foxx and Taron Egerton. Robin's commander, Yahya, John, is portrayed by Jamie Foxx. You're certainly familiar with the tale of Robin Hood, in which they band together to overthrow the corrupt English crown. They are vigilantes after all, so this role couldn't quite compete with the most heroic. Nevertheless, this is quite heroic, and despite how bad the film appears to be, we adore Jamie. Next up, we have Ronald Fleury in The Kingdom. The squad tasked to look into the bombing of an American facility in the Middle East is the subject of this war drama. Ronald Fleury, played by Jamie Foxx, is an FBI agent who kidnaps the Saudi consul to get time to look into the terrorist incident. While navigating the hazardous and war-torn landscape, he and his squad attempt to identify the culprit. Blackmail isn't exactly a noble deed, but this character's motivations are unquestionably honorable. Additionally, this film received some really positive reviews. And now we move on to Walter McMillan in Just Mercy. Jamie Foxx's character merits some recognition, even if Michael B. Jordan portrays the attorney. He performs the role of Walter McMillan, an innocent man who was falsely accused of killing an 18-year-old girl. This man, who is on death row but has little evidence, must defend his innocence. This individual is undoubtedly a hero who demonstrates the value of fighting for the truth and maintaining optimism. The cast of this new film is outstanding, and it will undoubtedly satisfy your craving for crime and justice. Now we're on to the upper half of the list. Another memorable character Foxx portrayed is President Sawyer in White House Down. This is a rather straightforward action movie, but it's still enjoyable. It depicts the tale of a policeman, played by Channing Tatum, who must defend the president and his daughter as a heavily armed mob storms the White House. Although Jamie Foxx plays the president, his character has several useful traits. Since he is the president of the United States, it goes without saying that he performs some very heroic deeds. The action in this film will more than satisfy your needs, and the heroism in this role is undeniable. Next up, we have him portraying Vincent in Sleepless. Jamie Foxx frequently performs in crime dramas, and in this specific movie, he plays Vincent, a police officer who, along with his partner, robs a shipment of cocaine from a notorious mafia. They offer to look into the robbery to hide their involvement, and this movie swiftly turns into a cat-and-mouse game. Even though he's not playing the most heroic role here, at least he's still a police officer, right? Although the critics weren't really impressed, this film is nevertheless interesting to see, and undoubtedly leans more toward the evil side. Moving on, we have Dean M.F. Jones in Horrible Bosses. This crime comedy has Jamie Foxx in a supporting part, but it's still one of our faves. Friends Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day, and Jason Bateman all have deplorable bosses. They plan to kill their bosses, and they enlists the assistance of Mr. Dean M.F. Jones, a consultant in murder, to make it happen. The consultant is Jamie Foxx, and his role is both humorous and sinister. Because he actively assists murderers, it is obvious that he plays a more villainous role in this story. Even still, this movie is hysterically amusing, and you definitely shouldn't miss it. And of course, how could we miss him as Bats in Baby Driver? The story of Baby, Ansel Elgort, a young getaway driver who is forced to work for a crime leader and a group of criminals to pull off large heists, is told in this action crime drama that received rare reviews from critics. One of the team members is Bats, played by Jamie Foxx. He is the baddest of the bad on this crew and taunts Baby the entire movie. Jamie absolutely kills this evil part, and his character is amazing. We wholeheartedly suggest watching this outstanding crime thriller if you enjoy heists, getaway cars, and some kick-ass characters. Lastly, we have his villainous role of Electro Max Dillon in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Although it's doubtful that this is one of the best movies ever made, Jamie Foxx plays one of his most nasty parts in this film. This is a film from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man franchise, and Jamie Foxx plays the bad guy, aka Electro. This enemy, whose electrical abilities are really awesome, presents Spider-Man with quite a task. Although his role is quite engaging, Jamie Foxx completely dominates it, as per usual. Look no further than this villainous part if you enjoy a decent superhero movie and Jamie Foxx. In terms of acting and music, Jamie Foxx is something of a legend. Of course, we adore every single character that this gifted and adaptable actor plays. This list is intended to order some of his best roles in this way, since he can play either the villain or the hero. Now let's take a look at Jamie Foxx's upcoming movie, They Clone Tyrone, where he will act alongside John Boyega and Teyonah Parris. The first official trailer for Joel Taylor's directorial debut, They Clone Tyrone, starring Jamie Foxx, John Boyega, and Teyonah Parris, was released during Netflix's worldwide fan event, Tudum. In this genre-defying sci-fi thriller with elements of a 1970s pulp spy movie, an odd team is on the hunt for sinister government experiments. Slick Charles, Fox, Fontaine, Boyega, and Yo-Yo Harris, all dressed to the nines, discreetly ride an elevator together at the beginning of the trailer. When Slick raises a revolver to his lips and starts singing I'm Going Down by Mary J. Blige, it seems awkward, and we get the impression that these three don't usually hang out together. The tension is slightly reduced when Yo-Yo joins in, but Fontaine is not amused. We think that this is a joke at this point, but when the elevator doors open, murky government mayhem breaks out. They Clone Tyrone, set to the Gap band's You Dropped a Bomb on Me, gets going right away when the trio discovers a clean laboratory with bubbling vials and beakers of what appear to be potentially hazardous chemicals. They catch the lab assistant off guard when Fontaine questions him, saying he was just trying to collect an hourly paycheck. Screens of surveillance, people strapped to chairs in some A Clockwork Orange type experiments, and a man jotting official notes on his official pad, transcribing a tapped phone call flash across the screen when the assistant is asked who they are. The ones conducting the experiments, and ominously replies, "We're everywhere." The group has apparently been pitted against the US government, which is engaging in terrible experimentation on humans in the major leagues. Yo-Yo demands they reveal the truth after discovering a clone body, but Slick is hesitant to become involved. We don't know much about them, and Fox makes it clear in the trailer that they aren't investigators, so it's unclear how they found out about this catastrophe. Whatever the case, they recruit the aid of friends to investigate. As hundreds of pod-like objects are seen before the trailer closes, it looks like this conspiracy has unfortunately gotten out of control for these sleuths. After Day Shift, in which he starred opposite Dave Franco, They Clone Tyrone is Jamie Foxx's second recent Netflix original movie. Other planned projects for the actor include Brad Furman's action thriller Tin Soldier, starring Robert De Niro and Scott Eastwood. With that, we're wrapping up today's episode about Jamie Foxx. So which of his acting performances do you think is the best? Let us know in the comments section below. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. See you next time, and thanks for watching.